Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. So, okay, so we were looking at the, I think the third chapter, first Brahmanam, and I think we have come up to the fifth Vakya here. So the idea here is Ashvala is questioning Yajnavalkya about how a sacrificer who is involved in a particular yajna can transcend certain limitations, particularly with reference to karma, which itself is having a limited result, and also with reference to time. Again, time itself is looked upon in two ways. One is the solar time, which is the day and night. The other is the lunar time, which is about the lunar day and night. Basically, that's what we call tithi. So we have that's why in our calendar we have a solar month and we also have a lunar month. In India itself, different regions follow different calendar or panchanga, and some calendars are lunisolar also, because for certain things we use the lunar day, particularly the pitrikarma we do based on the tithi, and some other karma and all we use the solar days or even nakshatras to actually decide the timing of a particular yajna or a puja or whatever it is. So here, how to transcend both the solar and lunar time, and what kind of upasana one has to do for that, that was discussed. So in the fifth vakya, if you see, we are talking about the Purva Paksha, Apara Pakshabhyam, Aptam Sarvam, Mrityuna Abhipannam is what it said here. Okay, Sarvam. And then how Kena Yajamanaha, Purva Paksha, Apara Pakshayoho, Aptim Atimuchyate. Okay, Atimuchyate iti. Then we saw that by doing the Upasana, Udgatra, Ritvija, Vayuna, Pranena, Pranaha vai Yajnasya Udgata. Tad yoyam pranaha sa vayuhu sa udgata sa muktihi sa atimuktihi. Like this, the upasana here is one has to see one's own prana, correct, as the Vayu Devata, because Vayu at the Adi Daiva level, with reference to the Devatas, Vayu is the prana. And of course, there is a Pancha Prana in our own body also. That is the Adhyatma. With reference to one's own body, mind, sense complex, we have a prana, which takes care of all the physiological activities, correct? And also with reference to the Yajna, the Udgatra is the Samaveda Ritvik, the one who knows the Samaveda. So whenever a Yajna is performed, the Rigvedi is the one who invites the Devatas by chanting the appropriate Rig from the Rigveda. Of course, in Rigveda also, while actually doing the offering, correct, into the fire, also you have to chant certain rigs, and then you can also chant other rigs from the Rigveda to praise the Devata. But Samaveda is something special, because the same rig which is there in the Rigveda is sung, correct? with some embellishments and all that, we sing as a Sama. And Samaveda is typically used to praise the Devata. You can say once you have invited the Devata, the Samaveda you are singing, the same rik you can sing as a Sama, and that is basically to praise the Devata. And then you offer like that, the whole setup is like that, correct? And the Yajurveda person is the one who knows what to offer, when, all that. The entire iti kartavyata, it's all part of Yajurveda, how to do a particular yajna. And the Atharva Vedi is the one who supervises all the three. So that's why we have 4 different ritviks associated with the yajna. Each of them now we are actually doing upasana as a particular devata. So in this case, the Samaveda ritvik is to be looked upon as the Vayu Devata. One's own prana also is to be looked upon as the Vayu Devata. And this way, we transcend the lunar time. Okay, that's the upasana and the phala for that. Then Bhashyakara is trying to link this, also we saw already, I think. He is trying to link the, you can see how this Vayu and Chandra are related. Chandra, Prana and Vayu, how they are related, because now you are doing Upasana as all of them are same, correct? All of them are identical, like that. That's the Upasana here. For that, he quoted from 1.3, Vacha cha hi evasa pranena cha udgayate. So the Udgata and the Prana, okay, are connected here. We can see here, and Prana is the Vayu. With when we look at with reference to the Devatas, that is also already very well known. And another thing is, how is this Prana connected to moon? So for that also he is giving a quotation. Atha etasya pranasya apaha shariram. So prana has a transparent watery sharira or body, and which is also bright like Chandra. The brightness is not like sun, but it is like moon. So there is a connection between prana and moon also. And there is one more connection also Bhashyakara gives here. What is that? Prana Vayu Chandramasoho ekatvam. Okay, Chandramasam ekatvam ekatvat Chandramasa Vayuna cha upasamhare na kaschid visheshaha. Okay, so here if you see this upasamhara means basically you are summing up or you are finishing something, correct? So here the upasana is about looking upon the lunar time or even the moon itself as Vayu Devata and Prana. So how can you do this identity, or how can you look upon all of them as identical? If that question is there, so Bhashyakara is also trying to answer that, because he says evam manyamana shrutihi vayuna adidevata rupena upasamharati. So basically here Vayu is the adidevata, not Chandra itself. Because the lunar time for which we may have expected, the Chandra also is a devata, but it will come later in fact, because the moon as a devata is actually associated with the mind. But here we are associating Vayu with the individual prana at the body level, and at the Ritvik level it is the Samaveda Ritvik. So why are we bringing this Vayu with reference to the time which is associated with moon? To understand that, what he is saying is this: there is a connection between the, particularly what Bhashyakara is trying to say is the lunar time, correct? The moon is also having some cheshta or some activity. Moon is rotating. There is a, and that is how the brightness of the moon is varying, correct? That is what we call waxing and waning moon. Now, how does the moon itself move? Okay, that's what he is trying to show here. the movement of the moon also is because of this Vayu only. That is what he is saying there, Bhashyakara. Because Vayu as a Devata is also called Sutratma, or which is the, at a total level, it is the prana. Individual prana is making all of us active, correct? This body really responds only because there is prana. If the prana leaves this body, then body will not respond to anything, there won't be any activity. Like that, the activity of the moon also is only possible because of the Vayu Devata, who is the totality of the prana, also called as Sutratma. So even the activity of the moon is possible only because of the Sutratma or Vayu Devata. And because of that activity of the moon alone, you get this Tithi or the lunar Pakshas. So that way, Vayu is responsible for the lunar time. That is why we are doing the Upasana like that. That's what Bhashyakara is trying to tell you as an overview. So he is explaining that here. So we are seeing all these things as one, correct? Prana, Vayu, and Chandramasa. This Chandra, Ekatvat, and the Shruti is actually summing up that this Chandra is nothing but the Vayu Devata, or the Chandra, the time associated with Chandra. Okay, and in that, it is not something uh, which is very, see, na Kashchit Vishesha means it is not something out of the order or something different or special. So why is this actually doing that? See, the Shruti is considering like that, and so it is actually saying Vayuna Adidayvata Rupena Upasamharati is saying. So the Shruti is actually summing up or actually completing this Upasana by showing that you have to look upon the lunar Pakshas as nothing but this Vayu Devata. You have to look upon your own prana as Vayu Devata. Of course, the Samaveda priest also as Vayu Devata. And the reason for that is giving Apicha Vayu Nimittam hi Vriddikshayau Chandramasaha. So this is what I said. So Bhashyakara is pointing out that the Chandra is undergoing certain activity or rotation and all that. Because of that only, the light is also varying in the moon, and the reason for that is the Vayu Devata, for the chesta of the Chandra or the activity of the moon. So because of that only, tena tityadi lakshanasya kalasya kartuhu api karayita vayuhu. So only because of the Vayu Devata making the Chandra active, these tithis are all there. The Chandra, the moon itself is waxing and waning because of its activities, for which the main reason is the Vayu Devata. So that's how the connection is. So ataha Vayu Rupa Apannaha Tityadi Kalat Atitaha Bhavati iti Upapanna Taram Bhavati. So basically it is tenable, it is proper to say that you do Upasana and on Vayu to actually transcend this lunar time, because the lunar time itself is caused by the Vayu Devata. That is the idea here. Okay, so that also he makes clear. Therefore, what? Only by the Chandra having this Vayu Devata make it active or move, because of that only you are getting this Tityadi Kala, and then you transcend that all this lunar time. Atitaha Bhavati means you transcend it by doing Upasana on Vayu. That is proper. Upapannataram means it is proper, it is tenable. There is nothing out of the order here, it is proper. Also, Bhashyakara here gives a note about the other Shakha. See, Shukla Yajurveda, there are two Shakhas are there, the Kanva Shakha and there is a Madhyandina Shakha. Actually, Bhashyakara is commenting on the Kanva Shakha of the Shukla Yajurveda. So, Shakha means a branch, and mostly they have similar Vakyas, mantras and all that, but they may be ordered differently. The number of chapters may vary, and sometimes even the content varies. So in this case, the Kanva Shaka is asking you to do the Upasana on Vayu, but the the Madhyandina Shaka is actually asking you to do it as Chandra itself. So tena shrutyantare. Shrutyantare here means it is basically the other Shaka, the Madhyandina Shaka. Chandra rupena drishtihi muktihi atimuktischa ihatu kanvanam साधनद्वयस्य तत् कारणरूपेण वायुवात्मना दृष्टिः मुक्तिः इति अतिमुक्तिश्च इति न श्रुत्योः विरोधः. So Bhashyakara is saying that even though the Madhyandina Shaka is asking you to do this upasana as Chandra, and here in the Kanva Shaka the upasana is supposed to be done as Vayu, there is no virodha, there is no any opposition, because Vayu is anyway the reason for the Chandra to have that activity. Correct? It is the Karana Rupa. The real Karana for having lunar time is not that just the Chandra is going through all this waxing and waning. What is the reason for the moon to have waxing and waning means its own activity, and that activity itself is caused by Vayu Devata only. So either you can do upasana as Chandra or you can do upasana as Vayu. There is no contradiction here. So both the shakhas are fine. So that's what he is pointing out here. Now next, we are again even now the Ashvala is not over. So one more question he is asking. Yajnavalkyeti hovacha yadidam antariksham anarambanam iva kena kramena yajamanaha swargam lokam akramata iti brahmana ridvija manasa chandrena mano vai yajnasya brahma tad yadidam manaha saha asau chandraha sab brahma sa muktihi sa ati muktihi iti ati mokshaha atha sampadaha. Okay, so Yajnavalkya iti hovacha, again he calls Yajnavalkya, and then what did he say to him? He says yadidam antariksham anarambanam hiva. So this antariksha means basically the sky, okay, or the space in between. This space itself does not, it looks like it doesn't have any support. Anarambanam means analambanam, alambanam. Ralayor abhedaha is there. It's there even in our many Indian languages. Ra and la can come intermittently. In fact, in Japanese, the Japanese people cannot say ra, I think. They say la for everything. So there is, even in some other languages, this you can substitute one consonant for other. Vabayor abeda is there. In Bengal, if you go, so they won't, even Vivekananda, they will say Vivekananda. So such variations are okay. So arambanam here means basically alambanam means a support or a base or a basis. So the sky itself looks like it is not supported by anything. In fact, it reminds me of the Asterix comics where the chief vital statistics is always afraid the sky will fall down. Okay, anyway, but it doesn't fall down. That's why the Shruti says iva, anarambanam iva means as though it looks like it doesn't have a support, but really there is a support is there for that also. Okay, because some devata, according to us, everything is basically pervaded by all the different devatas, some conscious being and all that. Okay, so consciousness is anyway there everywhere, and then there is a certain identity with all that is there here. Although it may look insentient and all that, still it's all pervaded by different devatas and they are doing their work. That's how the whole thing, the whole universe is in a certain order. So here Eva is just it is as though, means really there is, but it doesn't look like it is having a support. Therefore Shruti itself asks kena akramena yajamanaha swargam lokam akramata. So how does this yajamana go to Swargaloka? Because he has to cross this antariksha and then only reach the Swargaloka. That is the idea. See, the antariksha itself is looked upon as the in-between space between Bhumi and Swarga. So Swarga is another loka. Bhuloka, of course, we are there here. In between whatever is there is the Antariksha, intermediate space, or even sky and all is looked upon as that intermediate space. So what is supporting that? So that one, this Yajamana, he is doing all the karma, and the karma phala only is taking him through the Antariksha, and then he has to reach the Swarga Loka. If there is no support for the Antariksha, how can the Yajamana attain? So here, Kena Akramena means through what means, or by attaining what does the this Yajamana, Swargam Lokam Akramata means how does he attain or reach the Swarga Loka? By holding on to what? With the support of what does the Yajamana go to the Swarga Loka? Means for that also then Yajnavalkya. Basically here, how do you transcend the space? Okay, till now we were talking about time. Now here, this is about how do you transcend the space and then reach the Swarga Loka. So the answer for that is what? Brahmana Ritvija. So the Brahman is the Atharva Veda Ritvik. Manasa. Okay, at the Adhyatma level it is mind, and at the Adhi Deva level is Chandrena. Chandra is the Devata. So Chandra and mind are associated always. Understand this. So the Adhisthana Devata for mind is Chandra. So therefore now you have to look upon the Atharva Veda Ritvik Brahma as Chandra Devata. You have to also do upasana that your own mind also is Chandra Devata. In this manner, you transcend. Okay, so Manovai Yajnasya Brahma. So mind and this Brahma, who is the Atharva Veda Ritvik, and the Chandra Devata, all of them are one. Okay, so Tad Yadidam Manaha, Saha Asau Chandraha, Saha Brahma. So if you look upon like this, that itself is mukti. That is the means to transcend, and then through that actually you transcend itself. Sa ati mukti, you transcend and reach the Swarga Loka, which is the phala. Ati mukti is the actual phala by doing like this, the upasana, whatever you are doing, the phala for that. So with that, what happened? Ati mukti iti moksha. So with this particular topic is over. Okay. So all the different types of moksha, plural is there, means we talked about, correct, initially different, all the four ritviks are looked upon in a particular manner, and then we have done upasana. Correspondingly, in our own body also, we are looking upon the different organs, etc., as that devata. The ritviks are also devatas. Our own organs are also devatas. By looking at the two limited organs and the ritvik as the totality and this unlimited devatas, we also attain that phala. That is the whole idea here. And now, after this, what? Still, it is not over, correct? Because Ashwala is still going to ask more questions. What is that about? Atha sampadaha. So thereafter it is sampadaha, sampat upasana. So sampat means, sampat upasana means an upasana you do based on similarity. That is called sampad upasana. There are different types of upasanas. So you take any one characteristics which is similar between two objects, and then you say that you do upasana, that this is that, like that. So one popular example for that is what we say as Salagrame Vishnum Dhyayami, like that. So you do upasana on Shalagrama as Vishnu. Now there, how can you say Shalagrama is Vishnu? See, Shalagrama is some kind of a fossil really. Okay, it is a fossilized stone. But the beauty is, what did it is some kind of a insect or some mollusk or something, I think, which has actually fossilized. So this stone is available in a Nepalese river, the Gandaki river, I think. So if you go to Nepal, that's where you get this salagrama. And if you cut it open, there is that you look, it is like this chakra. Okay. It looks like a chakra which is associated with Vishnu, correct? Vishnu is holding Shankha and chakra, and this salagrama also, that fossil inside it looks like a chakra. Therefore, there is a similarity. Both are having chakra. And that similarity is good enough for you to do the upasana. That is called Sampad Upasana. Okay. So that is going to be talked about hereafter. So here, so let us see what Bhashyakara says. Mrityoho kalat atimuktihi vyakhyata yajamanasya. So now, till now, the two different times, solar time, lunar time, how to transcend that has been already described for the yajamana. Now what? Saha atimuchyamanaha kena avashtambena paricheda vishayam mrityum atitya phalam prapnoti. So even though he has transcended time and karma itself, he has to still attain the phala for that, correct? Whatever karma he has done, that karma phala or the upasana phala, with the support of what he will attain the result of these whatever upasanas which have been already said. Okay, because even to transcend these limitations and attain the phala, there is one more thing which is still limiting this particular yajamana. So that also has to be transcended or overcome. So that is what is going to be now talked about. So how does the yajamana who has done the previous all the three upasanas and who has transcended time and karma, but still to attain the upasana phala, what support he further requires now, or what does he needs to transcend? That is going to be talked about. So iti uchyate. So what is being said here? Yadidam prasiddham antariksham akashaha. So the akasha, which is the antariksha, or the intermediate space, which is prasiddha or very popular, analambanam iva. So it looks like it doesn't have any alambana or support or a base. Okay. But iva also is used by the Shruti. So analambanam. So normal people think that the space itself doesn't have any support. It's not supported by anything. But iva shabda is there from the Shruti. Okay. Asatyeva tatra alambanam tattu na nyayate. So asti eva, not asati, sorry. Asti eva tatra alambanam means what? Since the Shruti is using iva, analambanam iva means it is as though not supported. That means support is definitely there. Akasha also is supported by something. Okay. But it is not known. Tattu na nyayate. That is the abhipraya. That's why it is using analambanam iva. Okay, but that has to be now shown. What is supporting the space also? Yattu tat ajnayamana alambanam, ajnayamanam alambanam, tat sarvanamna kena iti prichyate. So, okay, so that what is supporting the space is not known. Okay, that only is now asked using the pronoun kena. Okay, because it is there. Kena akramanena yajamanaha swargam lokam akramata iti. That is the question. So by using kena, that sarvanamna means that pronoun, it is being asked. The question is asked, what is that support really? And without that, knowing that what anyatha palapraptehe asambhavat, you cannot attain the phala, because that support alone is actually helping you to gain the phala of your whatever upasana and all you have done. So without knowing that, you cannot transcend the space and reach wherever you are supposed to reach, the Swarga Loka. So that is also required. So yena avashtambena akramena yajamanaha karmapalam pratipadyamanaha atimuchyate. So by taking the support of which the yajamana attains his karma phala, okay, and then he transcends the space also, and actually attains to the Swargaloka. Kim taditi prashna vishaya. So the question, the subject of the question is what? What is that? What is the support he has to take to transcend the space and then eventually attain Swargaloka, which is the phala for the upasana there, whatever upasana which has been prescribed here. So kena akramena yajamanaha swargam lokam akramata iti. So by taking the support of which does the yajamana attain the Swargaloka? So and Swargaloka is the phalam, correct? Swargalokam phalam prapnoti atimuchyate iti arthaha. So the Swargaloka is the actual phala for all these upasanas, and that phala prapti itself is atimuchyate, means that is really liberation or freedom from or transcending all these limitations, because the Swargaloka prapti itself is looked upon as a certain kind of going beyond these limitations. But although it is looked upon like that, it's not that you have totally transcended all the limitations, because the Swargaloka prapti also is only a karma phala. Okay, and till the till the punya is there, you will be there. So here what is the upasana for that is given here. So Brahmana Ritvija Manasa Chandrena iti Aksharanyasa Purot. So again, this basically it is to Brahmana Ritvija Manasa Chandrena, like that it says here, correct? You can see here. So these things are all similar. Already it is explained, correct? So you look upon your mind and the Brahma, who is the Atharva Veda Ritvik, as the Chandra Devata. All that explanation is like already what is given in the other cases. So tatra adhyatmam yajnasya yajamanasya yadidam prasiddham manaha. Okay, so manaha vai yajnasya is there. So Bhashyakara is saying here again yajnasya is actually yajamanasya. The yajamanasya, the mind of the yajamana. Okay, that you have to do upasana as Chandra. Saha asau Chandraha, who is Adi Daivam, who is the Devata, Chandra Devata. So you do upasana of your own mind, the Yajamana's mind, as the Chandra Devata. Mano Adhyatmam Chandrama Adhidevatam itihi prasiddham. So the Devata who is associated with mind is Chandrama. That is very popular, or that is well known. Saeva Chandrama Brahma Ritvik. The other part is that same Chandrama alone with reference to the Yajna or with reference to your surroundings, right? Adhibhutam is Chandra, is Brahma. The Chandra Devata alone is the Brahma. Here Brahma is the Ritvik, correct? The Atharva Veda, the person who knows Atharva Veda. So that is Adhibhutam Brahmanaha Parichinnam Rupam Adhyatmancha Manasaha Etadvayam Aparichinnena Chandramasaha Rupena Pashyati. So this is the upasana. So the Adhibhuta Brahmanaha means the one who here Brahmanaha is again the Brahma who is the Atharvana Veda priest. So with reference to your own surroundings, with reference to the Yajna, the Atharvana Veda Brahma, and with reference to your own mind, with your own body, your own mind, these two are limited. Okay, etadvayam parichinnam. But these two limited things, you do upasana as the Chandra Devata, who is limitless, who is countless, because who is manifest wherever a mind is manifest. So you do upasana like that. Okay, Rupena Pashyati. Pashyati means you visualize. That is the upasana. Tena Chandramasa Manasa Avalambanena Karma Phalam Swargam Lokam Prapnoti Atimuchyate iti Abhiprayaha. So when you do this upasana, what happens? You take the support of the Chandra Devata, who is nothing but your own mind. By taking that support, what you attain the karma phala, the phala of all the upasanas, this upasana and all the previous upasana also, and you transcend the space and reach the Swargaloka. That is the abhipraya here. That is the opinion. So iti upasamharartham vachanam. So again there is a iti here. Okay, ati muktihi iti. Okay, iti is there here. You can see in this. If you break the sandhi, Bhashyakara iti means thus. Upasamharartham vachanam means then with that this particular topic is over. This whatever upasana, all the four ritviks are taken care of now, and so you have also transcended karma and both two types of time and space. All these things one has transcended by doing all these upasanas, and so this particular type of upasana is over now. So that is now complete. So, upasamharartham vachanam. Okay, then what? Ityevam prakaraha mrityoho atimokshaha. So in this manner, you that mokshaha is there, correct? The four types of freedom or freeing or transcending the limitations, different types of mrityu you are transcending. Okay, that has been already in this manner, it has been shown to us. So sarvanihi darshana prakarani yajnanga vishayani asmin avasare uktani iti kritva upasamhara. So Bhashyakara further explains. So the it is now it is completed, correct? All the different types of doing upasana or visualization of all the again different parts of the yajna which are associated with the Rigveda priest, Yajurveda priest, Samaveda priest, Atharva Veda. All the four ritviks are also covered, and your own angas are also covered in that. So all the darshana prakarani means how you visualize them. That has been already said. Therefore, this topic is over. Iti kritva upasamharaha. And that's why it says iti atimokshaha. Okay, so iti atimokshaha, like that. The four types of atimoksha has been already said. So evam prakaraha atimokshaha ityarthaha. Then what? After that, what? Atha sampadaha. This is said now. Now hereafter, we are going to talk about sampat upasana or sampadaha. So atha aduna, right now what? Sampadaha uchyante. So we'll be, or the Upanishad is going to talk about sampad upasana. What is the meaning of sampad? Bhashyakara explains. Sampad sampan nama kenachit samanyena agnihotrādīnām karmanām phalavatam tat phalaya sampadanam. Okay, so now normally if you take any grihastha who is a Vedadhyayi and who is doing all the Vedika karma, they are doing every day, you have to do all this karma, correct? Like the Vedadhyayanam who was done. Once you marry, then you start all the Agni karma. And one of the thing is every day you have to do Agni Hotra. That is a Nitya karma. So they are doing there, and three types of Agni you have to maintain and all that, okay, in your home. And you are doing this karma, Agni Hotra Adi Padat, again other Nitya Naimitika karma and some Kamya karma also you can include, because normally the karmathas, those who are committed to doing all this Vaidika karma, so they are doing all these different types of whatever the Nitya Naimitika Kamya karma. And what Phalavatam tat Phalaya Sampadanam. So once those who are doing that, you have to do Sampadanam means what? You are actually looking upon two things as the same based on the similarity. And so here, when you do the karma for, basically you are doing Agnihotra. In fact, what is said is, for many of this Nitya karma, especially there is no result also is mentioned in the Veda. There is even a discussion on that. Then what is supposed to be the result for that? Okay, because in another context, the Purva Mimamsaka argues that Nitya karma does not produce any result. But if you don't do that, you will get a dosha called Pratyavaya dosha. If you don't do that, you will get dosha. But if you do, you don't get anything like that. But that we don't agree. Whatever karma you do, you have to get some result, definitely. So in some cases like this Agnihotra and all, there is no If there is no special phala is mentioned also, you will go to Swarga like that, we argue. There is a Samanya phala is there. But even those who do like that, what if they want to gain something Utkrishta phala, something more than what they can get by simply doing this karma? That is where by doing upasana, it becomes phalavattaram, we say. So along with the karma, if you, in that same karma itself, you do with some upasana, that karma itself you imagine that by doing this, I'm going to get this phala, like that. Okay. So that is the sampadanam here we are talking about. So either the Agnihotra karma, and there are some other karmas are there, more elaborate. The elaborate karma, you relate it with your whatever daily common nitya karma you are doing, and you do upasana. By doing that, you get the phala of the other karma. Okay, the other karma are all like whatever Ashwamedha and all. There are elaborate yajnas are there, which are not possible for everybody to do. Only a king, in fact, can do Ashwamedha yajna. Okay, there are even other yajnas are all there. Bhashyakara will tell. So, if in fact a Brahmana is not even qualified to do some of them, because only a Kshatriya can do, like that, there are limitations are also there, qualifications are there. So Ashwamedha can only be done by a king, a Kshatriya. But then does it mean that a Brahmana can never get the phala of an Ashwamedha? Means that's not the case. Brahmana also can get the phala of Ashwamedha, but then the method is different. The Brahmana has now to do it as a upasana. So whatever Agnihotra, the karma you are doing, that karma itself now you visualize as though you are doing Ashwamedha. Okay. In fact, if you go to the first Brahmana of Brhadaranyaka itself, it is basically a upasana on the horse, because there also it is talked about that even those who are not qualified for Ashwamedha, they can do this upasana and gain the same result. So that's what Bhashyakara is again talking about here. See, even those who are only doing Agnihotra, etc., normal, Samanyena Agnihotra Dina means they are doing some normal, common Agnihotra, etc., karma, but they do upasana. On that karma itself, you are superimposing some other elaborate karma and you are doing upasana. Then you can get that phala of that other karma. So either you can do upasana of karma and karma, or sampat phalasya evava, or you directly do upasana of the phala. So different types of visualization are possible. Either you are visualizing one karma on another, or you visualize the phala of that karma itself as the phala of your karma. Whichever way, there are different types of sampat upasanas are possible. And why is it this is prescribed? So Bhashyakara is giving a note here. Sarvotsahena pala sadhana anushtanena prayatamananam kenachit vaigunyena asambhavaha. So even with all the enthusiasm, correct? Sarva utsahena. Utsaha means enthusiasm, you can say. So with all enthusiasm and sincerity, and you are doing anushtana. Okay, pala sadhana anushtana means you are undertaking the whatever is going to give you the phala, the means for attaining a certain result. You are undertaking that with all the effort. Prayata manana means you are putting in effort with all the enthusiasm. But still, what kenachit vaigunyena means what? There can be some defect or some problem, correct? With any activity, like we say in software, there is something called Murphy's law, or Murphy's law applies everywhere, correct? Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. That kind of a problem we have. So here, so something can go wrong, means then it becomes asambhavaha, means what? It is not possible anymore. So all these problems are there with karma. Therefore, what? Tad idanim ahitagnihi san yat kinchit karma agnihotrādīnām yatā sambhavam ādāya ālambanīkritya karmapala vidvattājām satyām yat yat karma phala kamaha bhavati tadeva sampadayati. So even so this kind of a possibility is there, that even though you do some karma with all the enthusiasm, with all the effort, there may be some defects, there may be some problems. Therefore, what the Shruti is saying, you just don't do only karma, you also do it with upasana. So here, tad idanim, here what is it? Those who are doing ahitagni means one who is maintaining the agni in his home, okay, and being the one who is maintaining the agni and is anyway doing agnihotra itself. Yet kinchit karma means, in fact, doing agnihotra itself is a big deal nowadays. In those days, it was looked upon as the basic. Okay, you are just doing the nitya karma like agnihotra. You are not doing any big other karma, like let us say some somayaga or whatever atiratra and all the different types of somayagas are there, and there are more elaborate karma are there. So you are not doing all that. So whatever is possible for you, yatha sambhavam agnihotradinam adaya means what? You are only undertaking whatever is possible for you, some simple daily karma, but still what? Alambani kritya karma phala vidvattayam satyam means what? Uh, so but you are desirous of attaining karma phala, which is much more than what is possible by just doing this agnihotra, etc. So therefore, you are taking the support, means you are taking the help of doing this upasana, the sampad upasana, and therefore what? Tadeva sampadayati means what? That alone, that itself you gain that. So you do the upasana, that even though you are doing only the simple karma, you are actually doing upasana as though you are doing some other karma, or you are doing the upasana that you are getting the results of that karma, and in that, by doing that itself you gain that. That is the idea. So if this is not there, if this kind of a thing is not there, this kind of an upasana cannot be done, means what is the problem? Bhashyakara says anyatha, otherwise rajasuya ashwamedha purushamedha sarvamedha lakshananam adhikritanam traivarnikanam api asambhavaha. So basically, see, there are very big yajnas like Rajasuya, Ashwamedha, even Purushamedha. I don't know whether they really sacrificed a human being there, but some people say it's not really. They actually do some maybe prana pratishta of a human being on kind of a, some kind of a vastu or some pratima, and then do sacrifice of that maybe. So there is a Purusha Medha also is talked about here, and there is also a Sarva Medha, like that. There is a yajna. These are all very big yajnas, okay, and not everybody is even qualified to do this. Rajasuya and Ashwamedha and all can be only done by kings. So that being the case, Traivarnikanam means what? Those who have adhikara for Veda Adhyanam, even they cannot get the all the phala of all these things. It will become impossible for them. Okay, uh, because it is not possible, or they are not even qualified. Literally, you cannot do those yajnas, but you can do the upasana based on them. That is the idea here. And in that manner, you also have an opportunity to now gain that phala. So, tesham tat pataha swadhyayartha eva kevalaha syat. Yadi tat phala prapti upayah kachana na syat, tasmat tesham sampada eva tat phala praptihi. See, all of them are actually doing swadhyaya, means even about all these other yajnas, you do when you do the Veda Adhyanam, you study. Okay, you know all the mantras and all that, but you are not really qualified to do that as a karma, or you are not able to get all the whatever, because it is too elaborate and too much wealth is required. You are not able to do it, even if you are qualified, let us say. So then what? Therefore, what? Yadi tat phala prapti upaya kaschana nasyat. So if you do not have a means for gain, even though you have done adhyaya, but if you do not have the means to gain the phala of them, then that is a problem, correct? So therefore what? Tasmat tesham sampada eva tat phala prapti means what? By doing a Sampat Upasana of the same thing, you can still get the same phala. That's why the Sampat Upasanas are important, because based on some similarity, you will do the Upasana. Okay. Even though you are doing only Agnihotra, the Agnihotra itself is looked upon as some other karma, or by doing the based on some similarities, and by doing that upasana, it becomes Viryavattaram, we say. Okay, it gains some special powers, and based on that, it can basically you can get the phala. Tasmat sampadam sampadamapi phalavatvam ataha sampadam arabhyate. So therefore only the Upanishad is now talking about, or it's going to start about this sampad upasana. Okay, so the next one we'll see next week, all the sampad upasanas. With that, this brahmana will be over. That we'll see next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.